Pat Robertson, one of America's most influential and controversial televangelists, built an empire that blurred the lines between faith, politics, and profit. Born Marion Gordon Robertson on March 22, 1930, in Lexington, Virginia, he grew up in a home steeped in both politics and religion. His father, Absalom Willis Robertson, was a powerful congressman and later a U.S. senator who believed public service was about integrity, not wealth. His mother, Gladys Churchill Robertson, came from a devout Christian family and prayed that her sons would one day dedicate their lives to God. Though born into privilege, Pat's upbringing was marked by discipline and modesty. His nickname came from his brother, who used to pat his cheeks and say "Pat, Pat," a name that stuck for life. As a boy, Robertson attended strict military prep schools where he learned the discipline that would later define his work. He graduated with honors at 16, then entered Washington and Lee University, earning near-perfect grades and joining Phi Beta Kappa in 1949. Despite his academic achievements, he was restless and drawn to adventure. He joined the Marine Corps Reserve in 1948 and later served in the Korean War, earning 3 battle stars. But controversy followed him for decades after another Marine, Paul McCloskey, accused him of using his father's influence to avoid combat duty. Robertson sued for libel during his 1988 presidential run but dropped the case before trial, a move that left lingering doubts about his service record. After the war, Robertson attended Yale Law School and graduated in 1955 with strong marks, though he failed the New York bar exam and never practiced law. Instead, he drifted through business ventures and politics, calling himself a swinger and living for pleasure. That changed in 1956 when he experienced a spiritual awakening after meeting a Dutch missionary who told him to trust in God. Robertson abandoned his business career, entered seminary, and began preaching. He had already secretly married Adelia Elmer, a Catholic nursing student he met at Yale. Their marriage, kept secret from their families, would last nearly 7 decades and produce 4 children. In 1959, with just $70 and a dream, Robertson moved to Tidewater, Virginia, determined to launch a Christian television station. He found a bankrupt UHF channel in Portsmouth and bought it with donations. In 1961, the Christian Broadcasting Network, CBN, aired for the first time, barely reaching beyond the end of the block. At one point, Robertson sent people down the street to make sure the signal was even working. By 1963, near bankruptcy, he asked 700 supporters to give $10 a month, an appeal that birthed both the name and the foundation of the 700 Club. Within a decade, CBN became a national force. The 700 Club blended news, testimonies, and faith healings with politics and prophecy, drawing millions of viewers. By the late 1970s, the show hosted Presidents Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, proving that evangelical media had become politically powerful. Robertson built on that momentum, creating CBN News in 1974 and broadcasting around the world. Yet critics accused him of mixing journalism with apocalyptic preaching. In 1984, his book The Secret Kingdom sold over 500,000 copies, earning millions for his ministry. His next bestseller, The New World Order, published in 1991, spread conspiracy theories about global elites and secret societies, echoing old anti-Semitic tropes. The Anti-Defamation League condemned it, but Robertson denied any prejudice. Scandals soon began to shadow his success. In 1987, 2 CBN pilots claimed that Operation Blessing, Robertson's humanitarian charity, had used planes bought with donations to haul diamond mining equipment in Zaire instead of food for the needy. In 1999, he quietly paid $1.7 million to settle related issues, though no criminal charges were filed. That same decade, Robertson invested millions in a Liberian diamond venture with warlord Charles Taylor, even praising Taylor as a good Christian man, on TV while the country was mired in civil war. When Taylor was later indicted for war crimes, Robertson's lobbying efforts on his behalf drew bipartisan outrage. In 1987, Robertson shocked his followers by announcing his run for president. With millions of loyal viewers and a network of churches behind him, he built a grassroots campaign that registered millions of new voters. In the 1988 Iowa caucuses, he stunned the political world by beating Vice President George H.W. Bush in a major upset. But his momentum faded fast as his fiery religious rhetoric and strange claims, such as hearing divine guidance on missile locations, alienated moderates. NBC unearthed clips of him boasting that his prayers had diverted Hurricane Gloria from Virginia Beach, turning him into a national punchline. By Super Tuesday, his campaign collapsed. He won no primaries and dropped out, but the political machine he built lived on. In 1989, he founded the Christian Coalition, led by Ralph Reed, to mobilize conservative Christians. Its voter guides helped elect Republicans nationwide and contributed to the GOP's 1994 congressional takeover. Though Robertson's presidential ambitions ended, he had permanently reshaped American politics. His success showed that evangelical voters could decide elections, and that religious broadcasting could wield enormous influence. Robertson's ventures extended far beyond politics. He founded Regent University in 1977, a Christian graduate school that grew to more than 10,000 students and produced many conservative political figures. He also launched the American Center for Law and Justice, a legal group meant to counter the ACLU. Under Attorney Jay Sekulow, the ACLJ won major court cases but faced criticism for funneling millions to Sekulow's family businesses. In 1997, Robertson sold his family-oriented cable channel, International Family Entertainment, to Rupert Murdoch for $1.9 billion. Built largely with ministry resources, the sale personally earned Robertson hundreds of millions. Critics called it hypocrisy, but he defended it as God's blessing for good stewardship. Not all ventures flourished, however. His Christian-themed amusement park, Faith Mountain, lost $12 million and shut down after 2 years. Robertson often made global headlines for his inflammatory statements. He said Ariel Sharon's stroke was divine punishment, blamed 9/11 on feminists and gays, called for the assassination of Venezuela's Hugo Chavez, and claimed Haiti's 2010 earthquake was God's retribution for a pact with the devil. Each time he apologized or offered clarification, but the damage was done. His words often overshadowed his philanthropy. Operation Blessing provided real humanitarian aid around the world, yet its reputation suffered under the weight of his controversies. Even in his later years, Robertson remained a towering, if polarizing figure. He continued hosting the 700 Club until 2021, 60 years after it first aired. His wife, Dee Dee, passed away in 2022, leaving behind 4 children, 14 grandchildren, and more than 24 great-grandchildren.